In 2023, we have seen some massive video game failures. Forspoken absolutely flopped, and of course, it actually got its studio shut down. Then we saw the Gollum game, which was one of the worst games, if not the worst game I have ever played. But now, the internet is roasting a new potential worst game of the year contender, Skull Island: Rise of Kong. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or via YouTube memberships. So I have actually talked about this game once already. When it was announced and the trailer for it went up, it got absolutely destroyed. But it has finally released, and it is worse than we ever could have expected. It looked pretty rough around the edges when we saw it in the first trailer a few months ago. But now that it's out and we can see gameplay and we can see that it is a very short game, oh boy, is it getting annihilated. So I wanted to start off with this IGN article. It says Skull Island: Rise of Kong was developed by Iguanabee, a Chilean studio behind 2020's G.I. Joe, Operation Blackout, and Head Snatchers, and is published by Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl's Game Mill Entertainment under license from DeVito Artworks, which controls the King Kong/Skull Island universe. Announcing its release date, Game Mill described the game as an exhilarating third-person action-adventure game that lets you become Kong on a journey of vengeance as you fight to claim your rightful place as the King of Skull Island. But the truth, however, is quite different. It has already gone viral on social media for all of the wrong reasons, with one tweet showing a cutscene with visuals you'd expect 3 generations ago viewed nearly 7 million times. Now, it's important to point out, as the article did, but this is not a AAA $70 game, and it's not quite indie either. It's more of a AA game, like Hollow Knight. It had a decent budget from what we understand. Obviously, it's a notable IP, but it's not a AAA title. But that does not excuse the quality of this game, because it truly is just abysmal. I mean, it is one of the worst looking games I have seen in years, and I do think that it does rival Gollum for worst game of the year. I have not played this yet. I do want to play this and stream this at some point, but it truly looks like a nightmare. It isn't full price. It isn't like a $70 game. It is $40, but there is no possible way they released this thinking, wow, this is, the best we can do. This is a high enough quality. This is unacceptable. Here is just one short clip. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. There is just no way that they released this thinking that this looks acceptable. It is such good meme material, though. At least we got something positive out of this nightmare. But while some of these clips are so funny because they just look so insanely bad, there are a lot of people that are genuinely upset about this, that were excited that we were finally getting like a King Kong Skull Island game, and they thought that this was going to be really cool and at least like a fun experience, but people are just destroying it, saying, do not buy the new King Kong game. It is a complete scam. This costs $40 and is made by people that make low-effort shovelware, apparently. I take back everything I said about Godzilla PS4. This deserves King Kong deserves better than whatever this is supposed to be. New King Kong game definitely looks like a game. It's not acceptable. It also says, in the game, Kong sets out to avenge the death of his parents, traverse the mysterious island, and uncover its secrets across a variety of treacherous environments, discovering the power coursing through its exotic flora and fauna. It doesn't sound like a bad concept, it is just the execution which is unacceptable. Now, of course, when I'm creating this video, it has only been out for 2 days, so there are not a lot of user reviews yet, but as you can see on Metacritic, it is currently sitting at a 3.9 user score, so it definitely is a solid contender for worst game of the year. And I'm sure that you all remember Gollum. I live streamed this. I was initially excited for this game. Of course, Lord of the Rings, amazing IP, Gollum, cool character, backstory. And then we got it, and it was just awful. It crashed constantly. It was very buggy, very glitchy. The story was just super mediocre. I did a full playthrough on the channel, and it is the worst game I have had to stream. But as you can see, it's sitting at a 34 critic and a 1.2 user rating, and I think that as time goes on, Skull Island is going to continue to tank. Just skimming some of the user reviews, people are saying things like, Jesus, PS1 had much better games than this. I got my money back on Steam, thank God. People should stop making joke reviews. Giving this game attention not be allowed, even if it isn't for real. Not everyone will read your comment and not understand it is sarcasm. And yes, it is true, there are a few 10s here because people are memeing on the game saying this is the best game ever, but clearly they're mocking it. But they still probably shouldn't do that, or else this game would have like a 0 right now. The box art is a lie. The game is bad. This is one of the most painful and worst games I have ever had to play. The game fails to deliver on all fronts, be it graphics, story, gameplay, combat, cutscenes, skill points, everything. Reminding me of my childhood on the N64. I'll give this game an 11 out of 10 score, one more score, but they actually just gave it a 1. Where do I start with this? It's $40. It's a game that's not even a beginner indie dev would be able to make on their first try. The graphics are so bad, the level design is so bad, the gameplay is the jankiest shit I've ever played, the cinematics are bad. This makes the Gollum game look decent. I still don't think so. I still think that this is going to be worse than Gollum, but I haven't tested it myself yet. I can't say for certain, but Gollum was truly just a nightmare. It only just recently released. There's only a couple of user reviews here, but I think it's going to be probably as low as Gollum, and honestly, it deserves it. There's no way that this game should have released. It's just an unacceptable quality. I mean, you could release a game in a very poor state for like maybe $10. I'd accept that, but $40, absolutely not. I have not, again, played it myself. I will be streaming it at some point, but I would highly recommend you guys steer clear of this title. There are much better games out there to play, and this just should not have released at all, and it's getting utterly destroyed by the internet. But that's all that I had to discuss in this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.